Have you ever been in that situation where all you wanted was simply to lie down, relax, and sleep in peace? But instead of rest, you get that unbearable burning sensation when urinating? Or worse, you fall asleep, but in the middle of the night you wake up with your bladder on fire, with that urgent need to run to the bathroom, only to realize that just a few painful drops come out. If this sounds familiar, I want you to stay with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to share could be exactly the turning point you've been waiting for in your urinary health. And let me break the ice with you. Many people think that feeling pain, burning, or the constant urge to urinate is something normal, especially at night or early in the morning. But I need to tell you an uncomfortable truth. This is not normal, and even worse, it may be silently sabotaging your sleep, your energy, and even your quality of life without you realizing. A urinary tract infection is not just a passing discomfort. It's sneaky, silent, and shows up at the most inconvenient moment, when you want to rest, when you need to wake up early for work, or when you dream of simply spending an entire night without leaving your bed. Now, think with me. How many times have you promised yourself you would take better care of your bladder, but in the rush of daily life, you pushed that problem aside? Well, that's exactly what urinary infections love. When you ignore the signs, they get stronger. And that's why I insist, watch until the end, because here, there are no miracle promises or empty ads. What I'm going to show you is real knowledge, based on something simple, natural, and accessible that can help you wake up without that unbearable burning. So, if you're tired of sleepless nights, of waking up in pain, and of living in fear of when the next flare-up will come, stay here with me. Because from now on, you'll understand why the symptoms get worse at night and in the morning, and exactly what you can do before bed to put a stop to it. Before I continue, let me ask you something very important. Subscribe to the channel right now, because our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I need you to help achieve this goal. And look, I have a challenge. Leave a comment below telling me when your urinary infection symptoms bother you the most, at night or early in the morning. I need at least 100 comments for YouTube to deliver this video to more people suffering from this silent problem. So don't forget to comment, because this can help a lot of people. Let's get straight to the point. Have you ever noticed that the symptoms of a urinary infection always seem to get worse at night or first thing in the morning? That's no coincidence. There's a clear explanation for this phenomenon. During the day, you drink more fluids, move more, and go to the bathroom more often. All of this helps, in a way, to rinse the bladder. But at night, when you lie down to sleep, your body goes into rest. You reduce water intake, and your urine becomes more concentrated. And that's exactly the environment bacteria love to multiply in. The result? Intense burning, pain when urinating, and that feeling that your bladder never really empties. And when you wake up in the morning, after hours without drinking water, the first urine of the day feels like pure fire. This cycle ends up repeating night after night, morning after morning, turning your life into a silent nightmare. But hold on. Understanding this mystery is the first step to breaking the cycle. Knowing why symptoms strike at these times will help you see where the key lies to start changing your reality. If there's one time when a urinary infection shows its cruelest side, it's in the middle of the night. You lie down wanting to rest. After all, your body needs to recharge. But suddenly, you're woken up with a desperate urge to run to the bathroom. Your bladder feels like it's screaming for relief. You get up in the dark, stumbling through your room, believing you'll finally empty it. But when you get there, only a few drops come out, accompanied by a burning pain that feels like it's punishing every nerve in your intimate area. This is what I call the midnight trap, because beyond the physical pain, there's the emotional toll. You don't sleep well, your rest is fragmented, your body doesn't recover, and the next day, it feels like you spent the whole night in battle. Anyone who has experienced this knows the night turns into a battlefield between you and your own bladder. And you know what makes it worse? Often, it doesn't happen just once a night. You might wake up 2, 3, even 4 times, always with that same deceptive urgency. And each time you go back to bed, fear creeps in. Am I going to have to get up again soon? This tension only fuels anxiety, damages your sleep further, and leaves your body even more vulnerable. This isn't just uncomfortable. It's a sign that bacteria are taking advantage of the nighttime environment when your body relaxes and urine is more concentrated to cause more damage. That's why so many people wake up already exhausted, drained of energy, and feeling like the night was more tiring than the day. But here's the important part. This trap can be dismantled, and understanding how what you consume before bedtime directly influences these symptoms is the key to turning the tables. Now that you understand why urinary infection symptoms intensify at night and in the morning, it's time to look at something many people ignore: what you eat and drink before bed. It might seem minor, but in reality, this is one of the biggest factors that determine whether your symptoms get better or worse. Let's be honest. Who hasn't had a late dinner, that harmless cup of coffee afterward, or a glass of wine thinking it wouldn't be a problem? The big mistake is that the bladder doesn't forget. Caffeine, for example, found in coffee, sodas, and even chocolate, is a powerful irritant to the bladder lining. That means if you consume it before bed, you're practically inviting burning and pain to spend the night with you. The same goes for alcohol. Besides irritating the bladder, it dehydrates the body, making urine even more concentrated and creating the perfect scenario for bacteria to act during the night. And let's not forget very spicy, fatty, or heavily seasoned foods, which increase inflammation and can make the burning even worse. But here's a key detail. It's not just about avoiding what harms you, but about understanding that every choice you make at night is a message to your urinary health. If you put in something irritating, it's almost guaranteed you'll wake up in pain. But if you choose lighter, calming foods that help alkalinize the urine, you're already creating an environment that's hostile to bacteria and much friendlier to your body's rest. After understanding how certain foods can sabotage your urinary health at night, comes the most interesting part: discovering that nature itself offers powerful resources to help you fight that burning, pain, and constant urgency. And no, we're not talking about miracle formulas or secret remedies. I'm talking about simple, accessible foods you can find at the supermarket, but that carry properties capable of changing the way your body deals with urinary infection. Many people believe only antibiotics can help, but the truth is, nature hides secrets science has already proven. There are fruits, seeds, and even teas that contain antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and diuretic properties, meaning they help flush the bladder, reduce inflammation, and make it harder for bacteria to thrive. And the best part, these foods can be consumed preventively as part of your routine. Unlike medications, they don't just fight symptoms, they create an environment hostile to bacteria while strengthening your immunity. It's like your body starts working with you instead of fighting a war every night. Now, let me ask you, have you imagined waking up without that sensation of carrying a bladder on fire? Have you thought about sleeping without interruption, without having to get up 3 or 4 times in the night? Well, this can start with simple choices, guided by what nature itself puts within our reach. And here comes the highlight: a simple, natural food that can become a true shield against that burning sensation at night or early in the morning. The pear. Yes, that common, inexpensive fruit that's often forgotten when it comes to urinary health. Pears are rich in water and contain a mix of fiber and antioxidants that help flush the bladder naturally. When eaten at night, they help dilute urine, making it less acidic, which relieves that internal fire so many people feel when urinating. They also contain anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe the bladder lining, reducing irritation caused by bacteria. Another important detail: because pears are light and easy to digest, they don't weigh on your stomach or interfere with sleep. Unlike other foods that ferment or irritate the urinary tract, pears act like a natural relaxant, helping you fall asleep more comfortably. And there's more. The fiber in pears helps bowel function, which is also crucial. After all, constipation favors bacterial growth that can migrate to the bladder and cause new infection. In other words, eating a pear before bed doesn't just help your bladder, it supports your body's overall balance. It might sound too simple, but that's exactly what makes the difference. Natural, practical solutions within anyone's reach. Often, what the body really needs isn't something complicated, but small adjustments in routine that actually bring relief. Knowing that pears can help relieve urinary infection symptoms is already a huge step. But the real difference lies in how you consume them. And here's where many people go wrong. It's not about eating them anytime, anyway. There's a right moment and an ideal way to get results during the night, and especially in the morning. The practical tip is simple. Eat a ripe pear, preferably with the skin, about 30 to 40 minutes before bed. This gives your body time to absorb the water, fiber, and antioxidants, preparing your bladder for the night. The skin is rich in bioactive compounds that help reduce inflammation, so avoid peeling it. Just wash it well and eat it whole. Extra tip: don't pair the pear with irritating foods. For example, if you eat it with chocolate or coffee, the pear's soothing effect can be canceled out. The best way is to eat it alone, as a kind of nighttime bladder care ritual. Another option is to make a natural pear juice. No sugar, just blending the fruit with a bit of water. This works if you want variety, but still want the benefit. And pay attention, no overdoing it. Eating 2 or 3 pears at once won't speed things up. It can even upset digestion and make your stomach heavy. The rule is consistency, not excess. 1 pear each night, taken properly, is enough to start noticing changes. This simple habit can reduce urine concentration, calm the bladder lining, and help you get through the night without so many burning episodes. It's like giving your body a natural tool to face the night with more comfort. Imagine this: you open your eyes in the morning, stretch, and for the first time in ages, you don't feel that heaviness from fighting your bladder all night. Instead of dragging yourself out of bed, drain, you feel instant relief, realizing you didn't have to run to the bathroom multiple times. That's the real impact of a simple nighttime habit, like eating a pear before bed. Results appear gradual, but are noticeable. Even in the first week, many people already report waking up with less concentrated urine and much less burning. That's because the fruit helps dilute urine, making it less harsh on the inflamed bladder lining. And that small difference creates a huge change in how you start your day. Another benefit is better sleep quality. When you don't have to get up 3 or 4 times in the night, your body can enter deeper sleep cycle. This directly boosts your energy, mood, and even immunity. After all, a well-rested body is much more efficient at fighting infection. And there's more. When you wake up without pain and urgency, you feel in control again. A urinary infection stops being a burden that dictates your day and becomes something you can manage with simple choices. That morning feeling of victory is powerful. It breaks the cycle of fear and anxiety most people with this problem carry. Of course, everybody reacts differently, but one thing is certain: if you adopt this care daily, you'll notice your mornings becoming lighter and calmer. And that's the transformation that shows how powerful nature can be when used the right way. But let's be clear, as powerful as food is, it does not replace medical care. If symptoms persist, if you notice fever, back pain, blood in the urine, or recurring infections, don't rely only on food. You need to see a doctor as soon as possible. That's the difference between stopping the problem early or letting it become something much more serious. Remember, pain when urinating is a sign that something is wrong. The body doesn't send these signals by accident. So yes, use natural resources like I shared, but treat them as part of a bigger care strategy, one that includes attention, prevention, and when needed, professional treatment. We've reached the end of this video, and I want you to take a moment to reflect. You saw that a urinary infection is not just a temporary nuisance. It affects your sleep, your mood, your energy, and even how you start your day. But at the same time, you discovered you don't have to stay a prisoner to this problem forever. We talked about why symptoms get worse at night and in the morning, about the midnight trap that robs your rest, about foods that sabotage urinary health, and most importantly, how a simple fruit like a pear can be a powerful ally when eaten before bed. You also saw how the way you eat it makes all the difference, and what results you can expect in the morning once you build this new habit. And of course, I made it clear, food is essential, but medical help is always indispensable in persistent or serious cases. Now, the decision is yours. You can keep suffering through interrupted nights and painful morning, or you can start today testing this simple, natural strategy. Your body deserves rest, relief, and quality of life. And before closing, I need your help. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, because that strengthens this work and helps this content reach more people suffering from this silent problem. And don't forget, click on the video already on your screen. There, I'll reveal another essential secret to protecting your urinary health, something that will surely surprise you and complement what you learned here today. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Now it's your turn to take the next step toward peaceful nights and waking up pain-free.